Let me ask you something. When is the last time you felt like you? Not the version of you that's polite at the dinner table or shows up for everyone else. I mean the real, messy, magnetic, unapologetic you. Hey, hi, hello, my loves. Welcome to Maiden Mother. I am Kaylee. I teach Feminine Embodiment for the delightfully chaotic. Over here, we fight the patriarchy by helping women live unapologetically. If you are someone who is ready to stop shrinking who you are in order to fit into someone else's mold and start living in alignment with the person you are meant to be, then make sure you're subscribed to my channel because you are in the right place, baby. With all that said, let's get into it. I'm going to be honest with you. I spent a good chunk of my life thinking that I knew exactly who I was. Creative, check. Ambitious, absolutely. A little different. I mean, I was voted most unique at my high school, so. And I have always been told by bosses in performance reviews, by friends, even by my therapists, that I am incredibly self-aware. But for years, even with that self-awareness, I still lacked direction, clarity, I mean, even authenticity. I mean, it was like I could envision myself clearly, but I had no idea how to go about actually being that person or embodying that person. You know that feeling when you're holding on to things like, I don't know, relationships, jobs, titles, or roles just because they feel safe? Because honestly, you don't know what else to do. That was me for a really, really embarrassingly long time. And honestly, in some areas of my life, that still is me. And anytime my intuition tried to kick in and offer guidance, I just shut it down immediately because whatever it was that my intuition was nudging me towards always felt just too overwhelming, too risky, and honestly too unknown. So I just stayed exactly where I was, stuck, and wondering why I felt so far away from the version of myself that I not only wanted to be, but knew that I could be and actually was. And if all of this sounds familiar to you, let me tell you, congratulations, you're not alone. I mean, so many of us fall into this trap. We work harder, we follow the rules, we check every box that we're told we're supposed to check off, and we just think like, okay, if I just do this one thing, if I just achieve this one milestone, once I do all that, then I'll finally be happy, then I'll finally feel fulfilled. But here is the dirty little secret that no one tells you. Fulfillment isn't something you can earn by following someone else's script. I only know this because I used a very special method that I like to call the hard way. You know, I did everything that I was supposed to do, and yet the harder that I worked, the harder that I tried, the more disconnected I felt from my body, from my intuition, my creativity, from myself. And that nagging question, you know, that why isn't this enough in the back of my mind, it only got louder. And then one day it hit me. And speaking honestly, by one day, I mean after years of therapy and journaling and crying in parked cars. But anyway, it hit me that maybe the problem isn't actually me. Maybe the problem isn't you either. Maybe the real issue is the rules that we're all trying to live by. Rules that weren't designed for any of us. Rules that say we need to shrink ourselves down in order to fit into a world that doesn't know how to hold the fullness of who we really are. Once I realized that, then everything started to shift. Recently, I was talking to my therapist about the work that I do, and she had mentioned how many of us approach wellness or embodiment as if it's this like ladder that we need to climb in order to achieve the highest self or the highest version of ourselves. And the thing that she said about that really stood out to me is that when we strive for being the highest version of ourselves, it innately implies that the version that we are now kind of sucks. And it's true, because when you're saying something like, I'm working towards this highest version of myself, you're also simultaneously telling yourself that the person you are right now isn't good enough. So instead, she challenged me to start thinking of it as my favorite version of myself. You know, a version that still feels like me and that I can meet with grace and kindness and curiosity and joy even. So it's not about reaching some unattainable ideal. Rather, it's about living unapologetically unapologetically from a place of radical self-acceptance. And self-acceptance is honestly where everything begins. For example, when you accept your body as it is, not as something that needs to look a certain way or fit into a certain size or perform or not perform certain bodily functions, you start to free yourself. And when you start to honor your natural seasons of energy and rest rather than judging yourself for being lazy or feeling like you always need to be on or charming in order to be palatable for others, self-acceptance happens when you give yourself permission to be messy or to experiment or to try things and miss the mark, to reclaim hobbies or interests that you once abandoned because you were either discouraged away from them or made fun of or just generally made to feel like you were less than because you enjoyed them. Like, there should be no such thing as guilty pleasures. Why can't they just be pleasures? I don't get that. Being completely okay with the fact that you don't got it all figured out. Remembering that there is no such thing as failure. Allowing yourself to be uncomfortable in order to expand what your comfort zone is. Learning new things, fucking up, trying again, even if it's embarrassing or scary or overwhelming or cringe. Finding the magical in the mundane. Redefining what success and abundance mean to you and no longer striving to measure yourself by someone else's ruler. Having fun, playing pretend, being silly, and staying weird. Setting firm boundaries, re-examining relationships, and making tough but aligned decisions once you do. Healing through emotional alchemy, creativity, and exploring different forms of self-expression, from your wardrobe to your journaling style. When you start to look at it through this lens, you realize that self-acceptance doesn't mean settling. It means embracing yourself as you are right now as the foundation to creating a life that is truly aligned and truly your own. It's this powerful vehicle to self-love, and that is what makes living unapologetically possible. So, radical self-acceptance, self-love, how do we get there? First, by embracing the journey and not just the destination, and that is where I come in. As a feminine embodiment coach, it is my goal to create a safe space that allows women to reconnect with their inner wisdom, embrace the fullness of who they are, and cultivate lives that are filled with creativity, confidence, and unapologetic joy. Whenever I introduce myself as a feminine embodiment coach, people are always like, oh, is that like yoga or meditation or something? And it's like, kind of, I mean, those things certainly do have a place in an embodiment practice, but it's not just about movement or meditation. It's a holistic practice of living fully in your body, tapping into your intuition, and nurturing every aspect of who you are, physically, emotionally, creatively. I don't know why I said it like that. Creatively and spiritually. At least the practice that I teach is. And my personal approach to feminine embodiment is rooted in authenticity, freedom, and exploration. I don't believe in quick fixes just because they've never worked for me. I don't believe in shrinking yourself in order to fit into someone else's idea of success. And I absolutely don't believe in abandoning yourself in order to meet external expectations. Instead, I will guide you to tune back into your own inner knowing, heal the blocks keeping you stuck, and express yourself unapologetically. Now, whether that's through movement, mindset shifts, creativity, or honoring your natural rhythms, we focus on building a foundation of self-acceptance here because that's where the magic truly begins. And in order to go about doing that, my work is rooted in 4 key pillars of focus. I'm going to go through each of those 4 key pillars and give you 4 different practices that you can do today to start living unapologetically as yourself. Number 1, we have embodied living. This category is all about reconnecting with your body, your natural rhythms, and the earth itself. Here we explore cyclical living, whether that's your menstrual, lunar, or seasonal cycles, while weaving self-care and sustainability into our daily life. Here you'll find body-based practices like intuitive movement, rest rituals, and ways to deepen your connection with nature. Now, if this is something that is really resonating with you and you are eager to get started, I have a guided earthing meditation available on my channel. It was designed with beginners in mind, so if you've never done it before or even heard of it before, this is going to walk you through that practice. And this practice is really about connecting with the earth as a way of finding your way back to your own authenticity. So again, you can find that on my channel. I will also leave that video linked for you in the description below. My second key pillar of focus is one I like to call the art of being you. Now, this is about breaking free from societal expectations and unapologetically embracing your truest self. In this section, we'll challenge limiting beliefs, dismantle cultural conditioning, reconnecting, and celebrate the power of your raw individuality. Here you'll find confidence building practices, tools for self-acceptance, and various ways to reclaim your voice and your truth. You will also see personal vlogs of me on my personal journey, because I am here with you, because this isn't just about me and my embodiment journey, it's about us and our journey together. So if this is something that you are really interested in exploring, or maybe you've even been struggling in this area recently, this is a quick journaling prompt, seriously only about 5 minutes, that I love to use in order to kind of get back into my own self. And you can do this today. So in a journal, what you're going to do is you're going to write down one recurring should or shouldn't that is showing up in your life. So what you're going to do is you're going to write that down, and then I'm going to challenge you to rewrite it and reframe it as a positive affirmation. So this is an example from my personal life. This is one that I am working through right now, which is I should really stop rotting and put my phone down and go do something productive. So the way that I would reframe that in an empowering affirmational way is: rest is essential for my well-being, and I give myself permission to pause and recharge. Let's do one more example, because I like having a lot of examples. So for the shouldn't category, if you are telling yourself, I really shouldn't care about XYZ problem, it's not that big of a deal, I don't know why it bothers me so much, the way you could rewrite that and reframe it in an affirmational way is: I deserve to feel the way that I feel. My emotions are valid and I honor them. Give that a try. Let me know how it worked for you. I'd be genuinely curious to hear what your shouldn'ts are and what your affirmational twist is. So our third core pillar of focus is feminine archetypes and icons, because I love when women, although this isn't just about women, but this is where we are going to dive into the deep, rich tapestry that is feminine energy, and we are going to be exploring how the divine feminine and the female are intrinsically linked. Through deep dives of common archetypes and stories of real life and fictional feminist icons, we'll uncover the many facets of womanhood, past, present, and mythical. So this pillar really is a place for storytelling, for cultural and historical reflections, and we'll have some thought-provoking social commentary on the various events and systems that continue to shape the lives of women today. By reclaiming these feminist archetypes and learning from these various icons, we will find better ways to reconnect with our power, intuition, and creativity in new ways while rewriting the stories that no longer serve us. So if that all sounds good to you, make sure that you are not only subscribed to this channel, but that you have notifications turned on, because in 2 weeks, I am going to be posting the first video in a series of videos where we will be taking a closer look and diving into the divine feminine archetypes, both in real life and in pop culture, from the maiden all the way to the crone, as well as what we can learn from them, how we can better embody them, how they show up for us in our day-to-day lives. And I promise you, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be fun. Bring snacks. So again, subscribe, turn on notifications. But if you are ready to do something today to start diving into these archetypes, then go to themaidenmother.com/workbook and make sure you download your free copy of my workbook, The Root to Rise Foundations of Feminine Embodiment. So that's going to serve as a great introduction into all 7 of the archetypes, the different chakra that they are aligned with in your body, as well as different practices, journaling prompts, all kinds of good stuff that you can use in order to better reconnect with them. So again, that is free. You can download that at themaidenmother.com/workbook. I will also leave that linked for you in the description of this video. I might get up and turn the lights on in a second. It is so freaking dark. I'm so sorry. Okay, did that help? I don't know if that really helped, but we're here anyway, so we might as well just keep going. And our final core pillar of focus is healing through creativity. This category is all about wholeheartedly expressing yourself through creation. Now, whether that's through personal style, like building a dream wardrobe that reflects you, or DIY projects, rituals, or creative practices, this pillar explores how creativity can be a powerful tool for self-empowerment and for healing. By reclaiming your voice, honoring your unique point of view, and feeling confident enough to express it and share it, and embracing the act of creating just for the sake of making something and not for monetary gain, like just doing something simply because it makes you happy, you can transform creativity into a pathway of self-discovery and inner healing. So if you've been here for a while, you'll know that this channel originally started out as a sewing and creativity type channel. So if you are somebody who's looking to expand their creative journey a bit and you're hoping to get started today, I have a ton of fantastic tutorials and inspirational projects to help you do just that. Another very simple practice I highly recommend if you are looking to just reignite your creative spark is intuitive dancing. Honestly, out of all the tips I'm giving you, this is probably the easiest one to do because A, it's the most fun, and B, like, you really don't need anything other than your favorite song in the background. Like, put on some Sabrina Carpenter, whatever you want, and just go with it. But here is the catch. You cannot just do your regular run-of-the-mill, subdued, quiet shoulder dancing. You know what I mean? This is where you're gonna just try to turn your brain off a little bit. Try to just have a little fun, get a little loose, get a little weird. Let your body take control and do just whatever the fuck you want, whatever feels good. Flap your arms, do a twirl, jump up in the air. Basically, think of the way kids dance when they're at a wedding. And pro tip, the more uncomfortable you feel doing that, that's an even bigger sign that, like, you need to be doing something like that because your creative expression is blocked, babe. So while the practices I just outlined for you with all of those core pillars are a great place to start living unapologetically, that's exactly what they are, a start. Feminine embodiment isn't a trend or a one-time fix. It's a relationship with yourself that you cultivate and nurture over time and with continued practice. It's your way of rising above the noise and the bullshit of the world and just carving out a space where you can thrive. Because honestly, the world and its expectations of us is not going to change overnight. But you can start your journey back to your fullest expression right now. And it's not about fitting into someone else's box or chasing some perfect ideal. It's about reclaiming what's already yours. Your power, your intuition, your creativity, your ability to live fully and boldly, no matter what this world throws at you. That is the art of becoming unapologetically yourself. If this video resonated with you, don't let the conversation end here. Share it with somebody that you love who could use a reminder of their own power. Subscribe to my channel so that we can keep diving into this journey together, because this, you and me, this is just the beginning, my love. And most importantly, join the conversation by letting me know in the comments, what does living in your fullest expression mean to you? Boop. And if you're ready to take that next step, I have got just the thing to you. This video, it is just a simple meditation, and this is going to help you just start tapping back into yourself before you get all of that other nonsense bombarded onto you from the outside world. And as always, thank you so much for being here. I love you and appreciate you for watching. Stay magical, my loves. Bye.